from the WCTV studios, this is Eyewitness News at 5. Coverage you can count on.
Assessing the damage to a longtime Tallahassee restaurant after an overnight fire. Good evening, everyone. I'm Julie Montanaro.
I'm Eden Schultz. Barnacle Bill's is considered a staple in Tallahassee. It's been serving up seafood at its North Monroe Street location for nearly 40 years. Firefighters were called to a fire at the business at about 12:30 last night. They spent hours putting out the flames.
Alicia Turner is standing by at the restaurant right now. She's been there most of the day. Alicia, what is it like now?
Electrical malfunction, Julie and Eden. That's what authorities are determining to be the cause of this fire here at Barnacle Bill's. And as you said, I have been out here all day, and crews are already on scene right now working to board up this building. Now, you can't see a lot of the damage from outside, but I'm going to give you a closer look inside to what some of the damage looks like. As you can see in this video, you can see the ceiling hanging down, a lot of glass and water all over the place. Now, as I talked to the fire department earlier, they said it took hours to put out this fire, and it may have even been burning for a while before they got on scene.
We do have heavy fire damage in the main area of the restaurant, and we have smoke damage and some water damage throughout the rest of the structure.
Now, this fire, the fire department estimates the damage to be around $500,000. And now, as for Barnacle Bill's, the building has been around since about 1947. And as we mentioned, Barnacle Bill's has been here for well over 30 years. And we've already confirmed new tonight that this building has been up for sale. This restaurant has been up for sale for the last 6 months. But again, a true staple here in the community. And tonight at 6, we're going to hear from some people, hear from someone who even worked here at Barnacle Bill's, as he discovered what happened earlier today, saying this Barnacle Bill's restaurant is a true staple in the community and truly a loss, and we'll hear from him tonight at 6. Julie and Eden, back to you.
Okay, Alicia, thanks for that report. Florida Governor Rick Scott is asking for more help now as homegrown Zika spreads in Florida. Today, the governor confirmed 10 new cases spread by mosquitoes in the state. That brings the total to 14, all in the same area of Miami. The first 4 cases were announced on Friday. The governor is asking the Centers for Disease Control to activate an emergency response team now that would help the state investigate Zika cases, collect mosquito samples, and control mosquitoes.
Donald Trump is facing intense criticism after his dispute with the family of a fallen soldier. The parents of Humayun Khan first appeared last week during the Democratic National Convention. His father spoke out against Trump. Trump then implied that Khan's wife remained silent because she was forced to. But she says she didn't say anything because it was too emotional. Both sides in the campaign are now trying to spin the dispute in their favor.
Somebody who attacks everybody has something missing.
If Donald Trump were the president, Captain Khan would still be alive today because we never would have entered the Iraq war in the first place.
The Trump campaign says the focus should be on homeland security and not the Khan family.
Time's running out. If you want to vote in the August 30th Florida primary, this is the last day to register. The primary ballot will include the races for U.S. Senate in Florida, congressional districts, and state legislative seats. Many nonpartisan local races will also be up for a vote, and voters statewide will weigh in on Amendment 4. That would give businesses a tax break on renewable energy equipment like solar panels. Well, more than 1 million people in Florida will not be able to decide who represents them in the state legislature.
Another 350,000 won't have a say on who prosecutes crime in their community. Mike Vasilina tells us about the rule that is shutting out voters.
Registered Democrats and independents in Jacksonville are out of luck when it comes to electing their state attorney. 4 people are running for the job, 3 Republicans and a write-in. And it's that write-in's presence that closed the election to more than 350,000 Democrats and independents who can no longer vote. Elections veteran Ian Sancho calls the exclusion a sham.
What's the likelihood of a write-in winning?
Near nil.
The red districts on this map show that virtually every major media market in the state has a legislative race that's been closed by a write-in candidate. It doesn't cost a dime to become a write-in candidate, and both parties are equally guilty of recruiting someone to close the process. The Constitution requires open primaries if all the candidates are from the same party, but Sancho blames poor drafting that allowed the state to close primaries with a write-in.
A candidate, even a sham candidate, is opposition in the fall, and thus, in fact, we have to really rewrite this provision if you want to get the intended process of an open, universal primary.
Bill Pender was updating his registration when we met him.
Could they be allowed to keep you from voting for someone?
I don't think so. No, I think we should be able to vote.
But lawmakers refused again and again to change the write-in process because, as the map shows, they use it to their advantage. Mike Vasalinda, WCTV Eyewitness News, Tallahassee.
The Florida Supreme Court has agreed to listen to arguments over the write-in exclusion in the Jacksonville state attorney's race, but no decisions expected before the August 30th primary.
A coalition of faith leaders, attorneys, and former felons want to see voting rights restored for convicted felons. They rallied Monday at Supervisor of Elections offices across the state calling for restoration of voting rights. Advocates say when those rights are restored, former prisoners are less likely to wind up back behind bars.
They are less likely to be engaged in criminal activity, less likely to reoffend, and more importantly, or equally importantly, they are less likely to return to our prison system, which has a significant impact on the taxpayers of our state.
When Governor Rick Scott took office, he changed the rules so nonviolent felons have to wait 5 years before applying to have their voting rights restored. Violent offenders have to wait 7 years.
Let's take a live look outside now and check our weather, and it looks cloudy over downtown Tallahassee. It's been that way off and on throughout the day, and we've been dodging the showers, as you and I both know firsthand, right, Julie?
That's right. I was going to say we want to start a new feature called Anchors Without Umbrellas, the before and after.
Undercover video.
Well, if you missed out on having that umbrella today, you might want to go ahead and stick it in the car for tomorrow, or even a good part of this week. I think we'll have good chances, maybe not as widespread as what we had today, but good chances. And this is all good news, and the afternoon shower and thunderstorm pattern settling in this week. Now, we still have a lot of leftover light to moderate rainfall in a few spots, but not much in the way of any thunderstorms, but still some sprinkles stretched out along I-10 throughout the Big Bend. Heaviest rainfall as you get over toward I-75, especially from Valdosta up toward Nashville and over toward central parts of Clinch County, just south of Homerville. Again, a little bit of lightning here and there, but mainly just some rain that's gradually winding down, and you can see it bubbled up nicely here. Now, we'll talk more about what's going to happen this week, but we'll also take a look way down in the Caribbean. That's starting to look like something, and any moment now, that could be named Tropical Storm Earl. We'll talk about that and have your whole forecast in a few more minutes.
All right, Mike, we'll look forward to it. Thank you. Well, it is telemarketing with a twist. Instead of asking for something, FAMU student athletes are simply saying thank you.
Our Lenitra Bennett joins us live now from the FAMU campus. And Lenitra, exactly what are they saying thank you for?
Eden, they are saying thank you to all of the donors, anyone who has recently contributed to the athletics department, and of course we're talking about contribution financially, and much of that money given will go here to help build a brand new Bragg Memorial Stadium. They are calling it a thankathon. The student athletes here at FAMU, they have been making phone calls to the people, and these are student athletes from all of the sports programs at FAMU, including the football team, of course. They started last week, and today I sat down with some of the athletes from the softball and track and field teams.
It definitely was a nice experience, you know, to actually be able to interact with the people who are given to, you know, our programs and helping for our programs to be successful, you know, and actually getting good feedback. It was definitely a good experience. I'd love to do it again.
They just might be doing that again, and the sports director told me that they will also do some other things such as writing letters and personal thank you notes to people. So be on the lookout for some new things coming out from right here at FAMU in the athletic department. Again, much of the money is going towards a sports complex in a brand new stadium. We will have more coming up at 6 o'clock, hearing from some of those people who received the phone calls. Guys, for now, back to you in the studio.
All right, Lenitra, thank you so much. A personal thank you goes a long way.
That's right. She's all by herself at the stadium. Did you notice that?
Wow,
Nobody's there.
That was really cool to see that unfold. And still to come on Eyewitness News at 5, how some teachers are getting pumped up for the start of another school year.
And our health alert.
how a common over-the-counter supplement may help heart attack patients. I'm Dr. Malika Marshall in Boston, and I'll have that story coming up.